Hey, it's Julie from Story a Day here, and I just wrapped up the release of my new masterclass. It's called the WRITER Code Masterclass, and it's all about, it's really intended for anyone who ever wanted to write. If that's you, if you were one of those kids who was never happier than when the homework was go home and write a story, if you were the kind of kid whose parents had to take their lamp away so that they would go to sleep before they went to school, this might be for you. If you're the kind of person who used to get complimented on your writing by teachers or by people who know you, the lucky few who get letters from you, if they're always saying, "Ah, oh, your writing's so wonderful, it makes my day," you've probably thought, and somebody's probably told you, you ought to be a writer. And so maybe you've sat down to write and you've written a story or you've written some journals and you've tried it and you haven't been able to make it stick. You're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You probably are a writer. If you think you're a writer, if you've ever tried it, you probably are a writer. So I run this challenge called Story a Day. It's coming up in May, Story a Day May. We do it again in September. And I challenge people to write a story a day every day in May because it encourages them to push themselves past their perceived boundaries. It encourages them to lower their standards, which sounds odd, but it's one of the things you have to be able to do if you're going to finish anything, is to allow it to be less than perfect. And I run this challenge. I've been running it since 2010, and literally thousands of people have been through it. And some of them have stuck around for the whole time. This is our 12th year. And some of them, you know, I've known all that time, and I've just been able to watch them grow, and it's the turning up that does it. But it's really hard to do it on your own. It's really hard to give yourself permission to write every day, to write anytime. It's just hard. So sometimes when we're trying to develop a new habit, like writing or exercising or whatever you are hoping to develop a new habit of, sometimes what you have to do is borrow somebody else's framework, borrow someone else's structure, someone else who's been doing this for 12 years and has figured out a way to keep coming back to the desk, to keep completing stories, that kind of thing. I've got that, and I'm sharing that this week in the WRITER Code Masterclass. WRITER is an acronym, and I'll tell you all about that in the first lesson. It's a way to remember all the steps of the various things that you need to do if you want to unlock and allow yourself to nurture that writer who's been living inside you all these years and who's been shushed by everybody who told you it wasn't practical for you to write, or who did you think you are, thinking you have anything to say, thinking you could be a writer. You can be a writer, and you can start today. If you're interested, I've got a link for you. I'm going to put it right below this. You can come over to storyaday.org and find more information about this. But I'm going to put the link for the WRITER Code Workshop right down wherever the links go. And you can come over, sign up, get instant access to the first part of the free workshop. And I'll be doing it all week. There's different lessons introducing you to the WRITER Code, actually taking you through some of the steps that'll get you on the path to writing your first story in years, maybe, or your first story this week. And then I'll be talking to you about the sort of secret lesson, the secret sauce that I've discovered that's kept me focused on my writing for the longest stretch in my life. And not just me, but hundreds of other people. I'd love to see you over there in the WRITER Code Masterclass. And when you get there, make sure to leave me a comment and tell me what you think of what you're hearing. I ran a version of this last year and it was so powerful. The comments were so heartfelt. People embracing and reconnecting with their artistic side and their storyteller side and their writer side. And I'm excited for you that this time of year with Story a Day May coming up is so full of energy for writing, and that you've found this video and that you might be one of those people who gets to unlock the writer that you've been shushing and that other people have been shushing all these years. Because you know what? Your voice matters and the world needs your stories. I'll be back on here soon. I hope you come over and enjoy the workshop and keep writing.